All right, guys, today it's a serious one. We're going to talk about the PPP and what it is, and if you missed it the first time around, should you do it the second time? Do you know any people that should be doing it? If this isn't for you, it's still for you because you have friends and they probably need this info. So you can learn it and then help them out. But before we get started today, folks, I wanted to share this with you. This is Morning Brew, and it is a free newspaper that has great info in it. It's all summarized, nice and short, so you don't have to spend all morning reading and catching up on what's going on in the world. I love it. I wake up in the morning around 6 a.m., and it takes me 2 to 3 minutes to scan through it, see if there's anything super interesting in it, and it's one of my favorite things. If I hadn't read it today, I would have no clue that Bob Dylan sold 600 plus songs from his catalog, sold his entire catalog, for more than $300 million. That's a lot of money, and I would have had no clue had I not read this article. Also, Stevie Nicks did a very similar thing and made over $100 million. Super cool. So, if you guys get a chance, download it. The link is in the description. I'm not being sponsored by them. There's no affiliation. There's no money to be made. It's just an awesome, cool thing that you guys need to know about. Although, if you do it today, we could both win a MacBook Pro. So there is a little bit of thing. That's also why I'm putting this video out today on Tuesday, even though it's a work Wednesday, so that you guys can get the opportunity to possibly win a MacBook Pro. I would too. It would be fun, you know? All right, let's get back to the show. This is the Payment Protection Program. And basically what it was in the beginning of, everything here in the United States, there was a need for money because everything was shut down. So people that owned their own businesses or independent contractors like musicians needed work, but we couldn't get work because you weren't allowed to get together in big groups. So there was no work. So they came out with the Payment Protection Program, and it went over a lot of people's heads. In fact, I know a lot of people who didn't do it, and I'm sorry, they missed out. I tried to convince them most of the time. They might do a round 2. They're actually voting on it this week. So if you haven't done it the first time, help your employees out. Do it the second time. It's easy. Basically, it's a loan that could turn into a grant and will turn into a grant if you're a good person, meaning if you use the money for what it's intended for. If you're crooked, it'll just stay a loan, be it a good interest rate loan. So even if you're crooked, it's not a bad idea. Just saying. Essentially, it works like this. You add up what you made all year prior to the pandemic, either in your business or as an independent contractor, and then you divide by 4. Because the Payment Protection Program is supposed to cover you for 3 months of salary of being out of work, because in the beginning they thought this was only going to last 3 months. You then apply for the Payment Protection Program, which at the moment that you apply for it is a loan, and then you apply for forgiveness. That's when the government steps in and gives your bank the money that you had taken out to basically pay it back. The only terms for forgiveness is this: that you use the money to pay salaries. So if you made $100,000 in a year prior to the pandemic, a quarter of that is $25,000. As long as that goes to your salary, like in your bank account, then you get forgiveness. That's how easy it is, and you're crazy not to do it. So just do it. My band did it the first time around, and each of us got nice checks to help us get through, what was a lot more than just 3 months. And if it gets approved for a second round, we're going to do it again because we're not working. So you might ask, well, what's the penalty if I don't do that? Or what if the government doesn't feel like I did it right? And so they get mad because I took out this loan and now I have to pay it back on my own. Well, it's a 1% interest rate. So there's no loan better. That's basically free money that you get to pay back whenever you want. Well, you have to pay it back on time. But what I'm saying is there's no credit card that's that. So if you have any kind of debt whatsoever, take out the loan anyway, and then pay back a really low interest rate loan. We can go into that more if you want to know more about cards and debt and stuff like that. I love talking about that stuff. But that's it, guys. That's the Work Wednesday that I think you need, because people need to know this kind of stuff. It's not really that out there. You have to kind of look for it. And I know everyone heard of the Payment Protection Program, but it slipped by a lot of people. And I know a lot of businesses that didn't do it the first time around. So if it gets approved a second time, do it. You have to. You have to do it for your employees. Even if you're doing fine as an owner, do it for other people. Or if you're doing fine as an owner, do it because it's potentially free money, and it's also free money because let's think about it. 1% interest rate is still less than inflation. So you could invest it. Don't do that. Don't do that. We'll go into investments and stuff like that if you guys want to. Just let me know. Comment on the channel and subscribe if you haven't already. Please subscribe. Hopefully you learned something really amazing in today's video. Comment below. Let me know. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, day after tomorrow for Theory Thursday, because I'm going to release this today on Tuesday, just so everyone gets a chance to win that laptop. So, hey, link in the bio. Grab that free, awesome newsletter that comes out every day except for Sundays, and learn something as well as possibly get a free laptop. All right. See you guys.